Alright, this video is going to cover the Spencer opal mine, the three options that we have to mine. The dig box, the pay dirt box that they can send you in the mail, the mini mine, and their main mine. I spent 2 days at the Spencer opal mines, a Friday and a Saturday, 8 hours each day, 8 hours at the mini mine and 8 hours at the main mine. On that Friday, when I was at the mini mine, I bought one of the pay dirt boxes. So I just wanted to do a comparison as to, those three options. And, people talk about, what's it worth and why is it expensive or whatever. Those are all relative, that's something that every individual has to look at for themselves is what they consider is expensive, what they consider is not. I just want to kind of cover some of the things that I found along the way. Here we're going through some short clips of each of those, and then we're going to do a comparison. So this is the mini mine here. Previously was the unboxing of the pay dirt box, but these are some pictures of the mini mine and some of the things that I was finding throughout the day. I just took some little clips of what was there. This is the same material that is at the main mine, so there's just more volume at the main mine than there is at the mini mine. The price difference, currently it's $2,025. Currently the price at the mini mine is $75 for the day, and to spend the day at the main mine is $345, I believe is what we paid. So at the mini mine, you're given a 2.5 gallon bucket that you can fill with any material that you want that's out in there on their dig site. At the main mine, there's a 5 gallon bucket that you're given that you can fill. So here I'm sorting through, I'm kind of classifying everything to what is precious opal bearing material that I found versus non-precious opal bearing material, so that we can have a volume comparison at the end. This will vary depending on every individual. So depending on how well acquainted you are at finding this material is going to depend on how much material you buy. So, or not buy, but how much material you dig and bring back. So these are some pictures of the main mine site. As you can tell, it's a lot more area. I believe they said there was somewhere around 20 acres of mineable, diggable area. And they have different ability levels at the main mine site. At the mini mine site, I think it's probably somewhere around 4 or 5 acres that they've got spread out, and they bring this material from their main site. One of the biggest differences is that at the mini mine, you don't get to do this, which is hard rock mining. There aren't huge boulders that you get to tear into and break apart and find the pieces of opal straight out. They're kind of already broken down a little bit for you into smaller pieces, and it's an easier way to collect this material. Material is the same. I found one of my best pieces was walking across the parking lot up there, picked it up, and to date it's one of the best pieces of opal that I've got. So here I'm going to start sorting that 5 gallon bucket that we collected. It took about 8 hours, and I'm not a beginner at this, so the material that I collected probably isn't the same as what a beginner would collect, or somebody who's never searched and looked at the Spencer opals before. So it took me about 8 hours to fill this bucket. I could have filled it in like 10 minutes if I wanted to just fill rhyolites, other types of material that they have. So here it's all sorted. What's in this 2.5 gallon bucket is the non-precious opal bearing from the 5-gallon dig at the main site. There are 3 black totes here that are all precious opal bearing. They're 6.5 quarts a piece. So that's what I collected and sorted out in that 8 hours. Here is the mini mine 8-hour dig site. The tote to the right is the non-precious opal bearing. Tote on the left is the precious opal bearing. And that has, well, that tote is actually the tote that I got that came from the pay dirt dig box that they sent me. So that's the difference in the 2 8-hour days of digging is almost 3 times, well, more than 3 times the volume. This is the result of the pay dig box after it was all sorted. Tote on the right is the non-precious opal bearing. Tote on the left is precious bearing, and there is also 2 pieces of just common opal in there that I really like, and I'm going to actually do something with a piece of jewelry. So there's your difference in what you can collect and what you get out of those 3 options. My opinion is that if you can't travel, that pay dirt box is a great option to have an opportunity to find some Spencer opal. Now, that being said, not every box may contain precious opal. Mining is something that when you go mine, you take a chance, or you take the opportunity to go find stuff. So if you have the opportunity, I would highly recommend spend a day at the mini mine. And even if you plan on going to the main mine, spend a day at the mini mine, get yourself acquainted with the materials, the products, and then go to the main mine and spend the day up there. Like I said, accessibility around the mini mine is phenomenal. The accessibility around the main mine is great. There's some more challenges depending on how and where you want to mine. If you go off the edge of the hill, you better be prepared to be a little mountain goat because it's pretty steep. If you decide to do some hard rock mining, takes a little bit of finesse, and so you better be prepared to put in some time pounding on rocks. But the opportunities for what you find is tremendous, and at either site, or if you get the dig box, the Spencer Opal Mine's been one of the best places that I've ever gone as far as pay dig sites go. Their friendliness, their helpfulness, all the services that they offer far surpass anywhere else that I've been.